Well, a lot of people out there across America have heard of Bitcoin. They've heard of a digital asset, but a lot of folks may not realize exactly what it is, or the fact that it is growing in stature. It is catching on. In fact, the central bank is creating a digital currency. Does it lead to a cashless society? Joining me this time from Phoenix, Arizona is a alternative asset and digital asset specialist. She is Lori Souza. Lori, welcome back to Politics and Profits.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks for having me.
Before we get into the central bank digital currency, before we get into all that, Bitcoin's value is going through the roof right now. Why is that? Number one, and number two, I understand that you must be doing well with Bitcoin right now.
Well, thanks for asking, Rick. And Bitcoin has definitely increased in value in the last week. We've seen it go from 9,200 all the way up to 11,200 for one Bitcoin.
Wow.
And when I say Bitcoin, well, it's digital currency. So there isn't any physical money attached to it. It's actually a computer program.
What is causing the rise in value this week?
Well, take a look at our current economy right now. We have a lot of their payroll protection loans. And I was just reading that stocks from different companies are going up due to the amount of loans that they're receiving from the government. And so it's definitely a different economy. It's a borrowed economy.
So why would a borrowed economy benefit a cashless investment?
Two different schools of thought, and our economy right now is based on a centralized economy, centralized banking, in which our Federal Reserve note is borrowed. And so when we're investing or we're receiving loans, we're receiving a loan, a promissory note, on top of an already existing promissory note. And so now it seems we're in an inverted economy.
Got it.
People are investing with their borrowed money. Companies are growing with their borrowed money. So we have a lot of reliance on a system that seems to be going in more and more debt during our crisis here.
Okay. All right. And there's a central bank digital currency or one that's on its way?
Well, yeah, I'm excited to share with you that right now, as the G20 gets ready to meet, the top countries in the G20 are going to be discussing digital currencies. And these are called CBDCs, central banking digital currencies. And as money moves digital and turns digital, and there is a new technology, the financial technology, that allows organizations, entities to actually use the computer program for their currencies to go digital. And yeah, it's changing. So we have a proposed digital yen, digital won, digital pound, digital dollar. And with the the Banking for All Act that Congress has looked at, that actually introduces the U.S. digital dollar.
Does this mean we're headed to a cashless society, in your opinion?
Well, it's a good question, Rick. I actually have some great pictures. We have some businesses right now that are giving us a great viewpoint of they're no longer accepting cash. We have Pizza Hut that has a sign up in Phoenix, no longer accepting cash. We have Circle K that says there's a shortage of coins. And even Lowe's is posting on their door that they will only accept cards or exact change at this time.
That's pretty remarkable. So what's the impact if the G20 decides that they will go with a CBDC, as you call it? What's the impact for investors? Which should they be aware of?
Well, that's a great question. And it's not a question of if there's a decision, but it's going to be decided because we're in a global society and a global crisis right now. It's not just the United States. We are actually seeing digitized money and digitized currency. Another name you can think of, and you're going to hear more and more often in the news, is called a stable coin. A stable coin is actually attached to a sovereign power or a governmental agency or an organization or institutions. So a stable coin, in layman's terms, if anybody is a parent and you ever took your kids to Chuck E. Cheese or Peter Piper Pizza, and you had to buy tokens to use the machine.
Oh, yeah, right. Been there, done that.
Right? Well, those tokens aren't good anywhere else, are they?
No.
Those tokens are only going to be good for the purpose intended. So take a look. JP Morgan has their own coin, and they're rolling that out. It's called the JPM coin already.
So what does that mean for society? Go ahead.
Well, looks like we're moving into a cashless society, Rick.
Got it.
Sooner than later, especially with the crisis, the COVID crisis, and cashiers have always worn gloves because money's been so dirty, right?
Yeah.
So now, who wants to touch it?
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of freaked.
They're turning it away.
All right. So G20 meeting. We're headed towards this cashless society. In our remaining, we're down to less than a minute. I would imagine that is just nothing but demand for Bitcoin.
Well, now Bitcoin's a whole nother story, and absolutely, because as you see more volatility in our governments, it's going to create more stability in a Bitcoin, which is community money, which is not involving a sovereign power. With Bitcoin, you are the sovereign.
You are the sovereign power. All right, Lori Souza, alternative asset, digital asset specialist. It's a subject that a lot of people are confused about and trying to learn more about. And you've done a great job laying the groundwork for us. We thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you so much, Rick. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, broadcasting from the Liberatory CPA studios. Back after this.
Politics and Profits with Rick Amato is brought to you by Liberatory Accounting, the IRS problem solvers. To find out how Liberatory Accounting can help you, call 877-6-SOLVER. That's 877-6-SOLVER.